Hi guys, Steve here from the Awesome Club again, and today I had a fantastic discussion with a couple of people that are part of a group called Flight Sim Squadron. We make models and make them out of Lego and other various 3D programs, and then we fly them around in flight simulators like Microsoft Flight Sim, and one of the group members, EggMan28, actually created a flight sim on Death Star, and both him and I and this other member called Dario, who actually ran today's tutorial, or King Dario for the less initiated, he talked us through some of the amazing workflows, and together we're going to be working on in the future a Battle of Scarif Lego flight sim, and we're going to be using a lot of the models that we built. So today's tutorial is actually some advanced techniques on animating and some of the amazing workflows that you can do to be more efficient when you're using Blender to try and animate your models. We didn't record the discussion straight away, but about 5 minutes into it we started recording it, and so we thought we'd just put it on YouTube for you to go through, and if you're making some models in Blender in the future, you might be able to use some of the tips and tricks that Dario has shown us. And in this discussion we had a look at an X-Wing, and we also had a look at the Moon to Mars transport system, which we animated and are going to put into future flight sims. So very exciting group, some awesome guys in the group, EggMan28 and Dario. Thank you so much for supporting. I put the links to our little group so you can download a lot of our models on into Flight Sim, and also you can download Eggman's flight simulator that he did at the Death Star, which is absolutely fantastic, and we'll put future links to other things like the Battle of Scarif in there as well. So thanks for watching, hope you get something out of it, and good luck with your modeling and designing and animating. Cheers.
And I use empties, which is just basically like a point in space as the parent object. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first move this into a collection, just to organize my scene. So I hit M on the keyboard and then do OK. So now let's go to this again. So you got to select everything. So M, new collection. Right, so now it's under this over here, so you can toggle on and off. And then what you need to do is you need to kind of group everything under one parent, but have the right transform where the wing works into the body. So what I do here is I select that piece there, hit tab mode. I just use this to see inside. And now essentially what you want, just going to zoom in. You want the point between the two lines, because that way you know it's in the middle. So I select that line. So you choose the line select and select that one. Oh, not that one and that one. Got to zoom out a little bit. Sometimes it's a bit funky. So those are two lines. Now this is where the important step comes. If you hold Shift S, you can choose cursor to selected. So now the 3D cursor is in between the two lines. I'm inside edit mode. I go out of edit mode, but the cursor is still there. And I go Shift A, and I say empty plane axis. All right, now I've got a plane axis in that specific spot, and that gives me the point of pivot. So I'm going to go here and just name this. This is what's this? Left top. Okay, and I'm going to move left top. I'm going to move it to the collection just so it's organized. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to get this wing to pivot around that point. So I'll let you just select these meshes, and I go in, select my axes, Control P, keep transforms. Right, so if everything happened correctly, I can choose the left top. Where is this guy? I can choose this one. And if I do R and Y for Y-axis, it rotates. Can you see? So this rotation, it doesn't break anything. The armatures break. So this is the key thing. So I'm just rotating that one object, but all the children rotate with it. And then
what I've been doing is highlighting. So I would have and I'm not saying my way's right. Your way looks more accurate. But I would highlight it all, and then I'd join it together.
Oh yeah, that does work. Yeah.
Because with Lego, I have to do that to decimate the model, because otherwise it's too laggy. Because each piece is like each piece of the Lego is like an individual model, and so every round little dot with Lego on it takes up a huge amount of polygons. You know, so I've had to like highlight each section, then join it together so that wing would then be one piece, and then I decimate that wing, and then I do the IR rotate location
Gotcha.
and put it into the problem I have with it is that sometimes when I highlight some of the pieces, and then I animate it, thinks that it's animating some of the twin pieces like on another wing, and so all of a sudden another wing starts to move.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that to happen. So that's my biggest issue with it at the moment.
Yeah. Got you. I think I know how to resolve that, because I had the same problem. Because when I made one animation, other things started to go all funky. So I'll show you this. But yeah, I mean, you're essentially right. You don't have to add an axis in here. I just do that because the sample model did it, and it kind of made sense. So I just kind of follow the same suit. But yeah, you can join everything and do the exact same thing. You can pivot around that point. Just for Eugene to know is, say for instance, you have a cube. So a cube, where's my cube now? Oh, there you go. There's my cube. So make this come closer so we can see. So like Eugene, this cube, the pivot point right now is in the center, if you can see. Right? If you want to move the pivot point to another spot, like say the top corner here, you go tab, you select the line or the point you want it, Shift S, cursor to selected, okay, go out. Now this is where it happens. You say object, set origin to 3D cursor. And now the pivot point's there. So now you can pivot it around that point. So like this is a propeller or a wing or something like that. Yeah. So that's this little thing I picked up. All right, cool. So once you got this wing, just want to click on this guy. So that's my axis. Now, this is the important step. You go into dope sheet, action editor. Sorry. All right. So with your object selected, you make a new animation. We call this C underscroll left top. Okay. It doesn't really matter a name. I just kind of do something, but you can choose whatever you want to. So essentially, now I'm going to animate that parent, and all the children underneath it are going to move. So with simulator, I found like if you push I to insert a keyframe, I did location rotation and it worked once, but then it messed up. So I ended up doing location rotation as scale just to kind of cover all my bases. And that did work for the X-wing. So I move the timeline across. I'm going to rotate this Y by 40 on the negative. It should be 4320.
Sorry, if I can ask, Dario, what's the difference between normal rotation and that one that you've chosen?
So rotation is the same, but it includes location and scale. That's the only difference. Because what happened was I did just, and I'll show you a capture I took. 1 second. Let me just open my game bar. I did a model, and it came out like this. Can you see my X-wing?
Yep.
It's a meatball.
That looks like my MMTS. Still on the job.
because it only kept rotation and not location.
Yeah, you know what I've been doing, Dario? I've been going like wherever the start of the animation is, I've been going IL for location, IR for rotation. So I've been doing a 2-step process for everything that I do. And then when I move it along the animation, I then do rotation again for the new rotation and for the rotation. So I'm doing a 2-step process, whereas this is a 1-step process.
Just one, hit I, and you can choose whatever you want to. The other option is you can hit the keyframe there on the side. What I found with Blender is quite cool is everything that has its logo, you can keyframe. So you could do things like materials, you can do lighting, etc. of that object too. So in case you want to do some funky stuff, you can do it like that. So in this case, I'm just going to go location. Oh, shit, not. Let's go to select this one. Okay, so now that wing floats. Something went wrong. Oh, yeah, that was because the original was high. And you see also when I selected the mesh to parent, I had that guy there. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
So a simple fix here: you select that. You just select one of the objects. I think it's Control P. Keep transforms. Nah, don't work. Undo.
Hey, while you're doing this, do any of you guys have the Pro Sketchfab account, or you just got normal?
No, I just got normal. Yeah.
Well, the problem with my MMTS is that I've decimated it as much as I can, like decimated it by like 90%, and it's still too big to put in the free version of Sketchfab. Yeah, I like it's a 200 meg file, but I compressed it down to 60 megs. But Sketchfab only allows 50 megs for the
Oh, I see.
free version, so
It's
that's so close.
so like there's some tools online. It's completely outside of anything like Sketchfab related, but they mesh decimation tools. They're Python based.
Mhm.
Draco is one of them.
I
It's a
heard of
mesh
Draco,
compression with
yeah.
Draco. Yeah,
Yeah, that's famous
you
actually.
can basically run it, and I think Unity actually has a plugin for it. I'm not sure. I was looking at it earlier today actually for another project, but have a Google there because maybe you can use that to decimate for you
Yeah, well, I've
and
decimated
compress.
it as much as I can in Blender. Any more, and the shape actually starts to go octagonal as
What
opposed to round.
what about you
Um,
split your model maybe? So you split into say 3 parts, and then you join them up separately. Would that work?
well, I've actually split it into about 8 parts, but
Ah, far out.
the problem
Yeah,
is when you export it as an FBX with animation, it adds everything together, and
man.
so it's just a matter of like I could decimate it another say 20%, and it would get to 50 megs,
Yeah,
but it's gonna look like crap. I can't do it anymore. Like I've already decimated it by like
yeah.
90%. So well, that's easy. You just highlight all the parts. So you just press A, highlight all the parts, and then you just go to the animation tab and just delete all the animations.
Like I did in the beginning. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. You, so I think I know exactly what you mean. So if you select like this,
Yeah.
Control J, it doesn't join. Yeah. You need you, yeah, you need to select one object to be parent. So after you do that, just hold Shift, click on anything, Control J, join. This case will be that little blaster turret at the end. You can choose anything. If you want, maybe if you want the parent to be this piece there, hold Shift, click it. So the last object selected will be the parent. You can't just do that. That won't join. Or actually, that joined,
See, I made a
but yeah,
tutorial for
yeah.
Sketchfab that went over all this, and I missed that
Cool.
step. So some people are highlighting and pressing Control J, and it's
Yeah.
not working. And that's exactly right, Eugene. Like that, you've asked the perfect question because that is a problem.
All right, cool. So just to kind of round this up, so I've done this. I've actually moved the start point to be horizontal, and then I just moved it up. That's all I did. Okay. So you need to select this guy, and you'll see the top left in the non-linear animation. You've got 2 rows here, but this just lists the actions. What you need to do is you have to click push down. So if you click push down, you get the variable track. Well, at least that's what I call it. But this track is the essential part. So if you call this like C, anything you want, you can call this bazooka. Yeah, it doesn't matter exactly. Yeah, you call whatever you want. But if you make another animation and you want it to play at the same time, give this track the same name. Because then what happens is everything plays at the same time, or you can stagger them in a sequence, but that will trigger it, that name. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So that's a little bit. So I was just going to animation, highlighting a
Yeah.
section, animating it, then pressing the back arrow.
Yeah.
So you go back to the start of animation, then animating the next one, and just making sure that the keyframes were lined up.
Yeah. But then the issue with simulator is it won't know what to play. Because you can only trigger one thing, and it looks for this. I did the same thing. I tried to trigger the actual, because I had the name C left. I was trying to trigger C left, and it wasn't working. So you need to actually do this to get it to work. You got to trigger bazooka, or whatever you call it, because C left is inside it as a child over here on the timeline. You see, that's how simulator looks for it. It's really weird. In the sample aeroplane, that's what it did.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's see if I can find it.
I sort of keep going until I get it right. And after seeing Dario do it, I'm realizing that what I've been doing is a little bit too simplified. And that's probably why you're having problems when it comes into, just the FBX that I export is causing problems with Unity.
Unity's different. Unity's different. Yeah, yeah. Like in Unity, this will all work. Done. Boom. Perfect.
Oh, will it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, that's
You're
good to
done.
know.
Yeah. But in Flight Simulator, you need that. Yeah. what you can do is, Steve, before you export, just select everything.
Mm.
You do Control A for apply, and you just do all transforms.
All transforms.
Yeah, because that will recenter everything to make sure it's all sorted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a note on that.
Yeah, Control A and then all transforms. I learned that trick from another guy on YouTube. Yeah, actually, if you could even do that before you animate, sometimes it actually helps. Yeah.
Okay, so you just A for highlight all, right?
Control A, or so first highlighting A and then Control A, and then just say all transforms. Because what happens also is like you'll see if you like take my cube here. So if I do scale, like I move it, you see it says 410 on the scale.
Mm.
To set it again, you do Control A, all transforms, or just scale, and it goes back to 1. So everything becomes baseline. The position's baseline, everything's baseline. That way, when the scales go over between programs, it sometimes doesn't get messed up.
Right, and it doesn't move the model pieces around.
No, it's completely fixed. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the base model of simulator aircraft. This guy, shiny guy here. You'll see over here, they've got like in the prop over here. Let's just see if I can move this down. So on the propeller, let's see if I can find propeller. Okay, this is the left gear. So this landing gear. So yeah, so you got to select the object. So let's just see what the propeller is. So this is the animation for propeller. All right, yeah, and prop blur cone. You go over here. I can do a leg. This is easy to find, I reckon. The flat landing gear left would be this one. Okay, all these transforms are messed up, but essentially like, so you'll see the transforms are messed up because I did Control A, apply scale. But if you applied scale prior to animating, that would be fine. So I guess that's a bit of a lesson learned. Apply your scale prior to animation. Yeah, but you see they've used the empties also to animate in this one. So what you do is this little drop down inside Action Editor, you can choose the animations. And then you just got to make sure you select the right object to apply it to. Because if you say landing gear and you choose something else, it's going to mess it up. Because whatever you select here and you choose here will apply the animation to it. So that's why sometimes things get messed up, because you make a slight mistake. Yeah, just to undo. It should work. Yeah.
Did you download the Moon to Mars transport system I put into that folder yet,
Oh,
Dario?
not yet. No, man. I haven't yet. Sorry.
Okay. I'd be really keen to hear your thoughts on that, and maybe.
I want to see if maybe I can do it quick. It must be big, right?
I think it's like 50 megs. 60 megs, I think.
Let's kick it off and let's see. Anyway, let's see how fast my internet is.
Oh, is it 202 megs? Oh, okay, yeah, that's not non-compressed. That's fine.
Okay, it's going quite quickly actually from Drive. Not bad. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, essentially that's the workflow. And then you'll see here these guys for Flight Simulator, they do this under the variable. So everything that has that variable, like for the timeline, will trigger. Like C gear is here, C gear is here, but there's two separate animations. So they trigger at the same time because they're on the same linear timeline. But if you stagger this, let's see if I can move it. I can't move it. But yeah, like so you can trigger 1 or you can trigger 5 or 10 animations.
Locked.
Yeah, it must be. Oh, there you go. You're right. There you go. So now that one will happen afterwards. Yeah, spot on. Yeah, cool. And then once you're done, you just literally select it all, export as GLTF. And then Eugene knows this part. Let me just open one. It's over here, all the way through to the end. Under Simple Aircraft XML, you've got to change the variable name in 3 places. So for landing gear, it's C gear. So you'll change like to bazooka here. You write bazooka here. And then the last part where they actually do the part information and they assign the variable, you change it there, bazooka. And then, yeah, I think there's some kind of a base template that they use in the game and it assigns it. I wish I had a list of all the variables that we could trigger, but I don't. That's the problem. Yeah. So this is the interesting part. Yesterday I had the X-Wing. It was 20 frames, but I had it at 100. It was very slow. Yeah. You
So
see here,
if
it's like,
you set it to 100 and it was 20 frames, and it's essentially
Yeah.
slowing down by 5, right?
correct, exactly. So if you set this up to like 1,000, that thing will rotate very slowly. That's what I worked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for props, I mean, if you look at it, they've got scale and they've also got radians. I think you could do something here too. I'm not sure. It's just trial and error, really. That's what it is. Yeah. There's 3 models inside the aeroplane. You'll see there's a prop, there's a static, there's a one here, and then you got the big one, which is the round one. I'm not sure the transition, and this is we're going to play with and see what happens. Yeah. Hey, Steve, do you know how to select something and then see it inside the hierarchy quickly or not?
Not really, no.
I think it's because there it is. Yeah, it's semi-highlighted. Yeah.
Oh, because it's highlighted.
Yeah. So there's your prop. What I would do is I copy the parent.
So after seeing what you've done and then looking at the MMTS, you like my way of animating is significantly rudimentary compared to yours.
Oh, I literally learned this a few days ago, man. I was just selecting and going R and rotate.
If you press play now, yeah, there you go. So
that's cool.
So you can see I've got like quite a few moving parts, like and the cogs all move separately.
Oh man,
at the bottom
cool. Look at this monster, man. Wow.
Yeah, so that was like something like 100 million polygons, which I've decimated down to just a couple of million. But it's all the different moving parts was really, really hard to get. But
look at these cogs, man.
Sorry?
That's amazing, man. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, it's based off like it would spin, it would work in real life, but the problem is the weight of it. I couldn't allow it to spin, so I had to just make it as a fixed for demonstrations. No, not in Studio 2. No. So you have to basically what I say to my advanced students is to export the Collada files and then use whatever program they would normally use to animate.
Yeah.
I encourage them to use Blender because I think it's relatively easy, but
it's free.
Yeah, it's free, exactly right. And they're kids, right? They don't have money. So.
Well, even grown-ups don't have money, man.
That's true.
Yeah. So you got this little guy. Oh, look at that! Those little touches are amazing, man. Well done.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so this was made for a few schools up here in Brisbane, and then when Lego announced that they were doing this NASA competition, I was like, okay, well, I lost the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
And I was pretty disappointed, and I thought I'll just submit it just for fun. I didn't actually think I'd win it. And then, boom, I got to fly over to the Kennedy Space Center, meet the astronauts.
You're serious? Oh, I hate you, man. It's amazing.
I've got all these YouTube clips, like getting my wife and I got a tour around the Kennedy Space Center or the education programs behind the scenes with the chief operating officer. And it was... Well, actually, funnily enough, I had actually booked a holiday the same time they were inviting me over at Orlando, which is an hour away from Kennedy Space Center. So I said to them, we'll just come and meet you. We're going to be there. So we just hired a car and drove there. And then when it got smashed up in customs, they said, can we pay for your flights to come back over and fix it? And then COVID hit, and so that was 6 months ago, and they can't put it on display till I fix it. And they tried to fix it. Then NASA guys tried to fix it. They couldn't do it. So I find it's quite amusing. So one of the things I don't know how to do in Blender, which I'd really love, and maybe you know this, Dario, is how do you make... So in Sketchfab, it's really easy to make something transparent. You literally click on the component, you go to opacity, and you change the opacity.
Yep.
How do you do that? Do you know how to do that in...
I do, man. So which one? This is
So all of the glass.
Yeah.
All of that blue... Anything blue like that color, all of that is transparent. It's the same color.
Yeah. All right. So it's the same material, right?
It's all the same material, correct.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bunch of detail in there, like significant detail behind that you can't see.
All right, so let's see if I can click this. Come on, select that guy.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. How did you select that? How did you select just that?
Oh, but just this one. I literally just clicked it. Yeah.
Oh no, that's clicked.
Yeah.
That's the whole
this
thing.
one. Yeah.
I just wanted the blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did was I chose the blue there. But then you go in shading over here.
Shading, right?
Yeah, shading.
Okay.
So shading at the top. So this is your material selector. Any object you choose here gets all the materials are reflected there.
Okay.
You have to do like essentially you can just do probably one place, but some tutorials say to do both. But see this alpha there?
Yep. Ah, okay.
8, yeah.
Right, I'm making notes on this. So
yeah,
it's shading, select material, and then go to alpha, and then you just change the transparency.
Yeah, but you need to also do this one. See the base color? You got to do both. 08. So theoretically, that should change it. Let's just go. Yeah, it should be reflected immediately.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but you'll see also. Yeah, it's because the alpha is low. You see, there's a whole node system here. So if you hold Control and hold the mouse right down, you can cut it off. And the alpha's there. Alpha's 1. Okay. So
yeah, because you want it to sort of be there, but transparent.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Just
make it a tiny bit less transparent so you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're talking. That's heaps better.
Yeah. Let's get the blue. It's like that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that looks way better.
Yeah. But you'll see. Yeah, it should. If it's the same material, it's gone through.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, in Simulator it will, but the problem here is I had to cut this link because I read some forums, and if you have this link because it's looking for a texture, it will just be completely one solid color. You have to cut it there. If you cut it, then it doesn't. It looks like
this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cut link to alpha.
Yeah.
Cut link.
And you got to change also the base alpha. Actually, you don't have to. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, just the alpha.
How did you bring up the nodes? What did you click to? You just clicked on use nodes?
Oh yeah. So what you do is you select the material that you want.
Yeah.
So you'll choose this one.
Yeah.
And then I'll just give it a second. Computer's thinking. Scroll down. We've got the plugin for Flight Simulator. You need to install that plugin. But if you don't have it, if you do have it, install it, and you choose glass. Yeah, everyone says use glass, but use windshield.
So if you don't have that plugin, you can't make it glass? Is that what you're saying?
No, you can. There are ways to make it glass. It's essentially the same thing. You change the alpha, but there's you need to use, I think it's Cycles Renderer or something. You got to change the rendering engine. Apparently, I'm not sure.
So when I go to Sketchfab, because I usually do this in Sketchfab, I just can't do it for this model because it's so big. I usually do all the opacity. When you downloaded it, Eugene, from Sketchfab, I noticed that the glass and everything was transparent. So was that because I did it all in Sketchfab and it carried across? Or did you
probably. Yeah.
I mean, if we weren't doing a flight sim and we had some, because I've got these awesome rovers. So I made a Mars rover for NASA, and I made a different Mars rover for the Australian Space Agency as well. Like actually. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, they look so cool, and I've made digital models and physical models of both, and they have glass as well. But they would be so cool to fly around. I don't know, put a jetpack on it or something. Dario's workflow is awesome. It is a bit complex for my brain because I'm quite new to this kind of because my background is audio production, just so you know, not video design. But I'll give it a shot. Why not? I mean,
yeah. I mean, like what you can do is, I mean, sometimes I can't talk, but just record your screen, send me on WhatsApp or whatever, and then we can work together and get it done. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right. Cool. Right. We'll sell it to Bill Gates next week. It'll be sweet.
Sort of, man.
All right.
Too good. All right. Cheers, guys. See ya.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks.